Hello, Post-Pollock viewers. Dave Epstein here from the Post-Pollock firm in Roseland, New Jersey. Here today to tell you more about a person that you seem to like a lot because the videos have gotten a lot of comments. The story has. It's about DoorDash girl. Remember her? She was charged for posting nude pictures or videos of one of the DoorDash customers claiming he exposed himself to her and all sorts of things. And they charged her with a variety of things, including illegal posting of nude images of somebody. The story has been followed pretty heavily by a lot of people. One YouTuber named I think it's Atozy or Atozy, A-T-O-Z-Y, who does a lot of YouTubing. He's actually followed at the point I think he did go to court to see her most recent appearance. And I've looked at a little bit of the news. I haven't seen this video. I've never seen this guy. People say he's very good. He's got a very active YouTube presence. I don't think he's a lawyer. But let's see what Atozy saw in court, and I'll give you my read on it and let you know where things stand with our DoorDash girl. Here we go.
Talk to them, and I'm thinking, okay, there's a continuation that happened. Instead, I found out this was divested to county court. So originally, where we're at, this building right here, this is the city court. So city court, I mean, this is kind of like small fines, but hers was divested to county court. So as I said, originally she was in city court, but now county court, that's the main state court. So that means most likely she's facing way more serious charges. Or well, not way more serious charges. The charges are still the same, but most likely they could penalize her a lot harder. So according to the lawyer that I've been talking to, that's the prosecutor that moved it there, most likely because of all the public attention on the case and the public outcry. So that means that most likely she won't get a slap on the wrist. So currently she is facing 8 years in prison. That's her max sentence because it's a 4-year max sentence for each of the felonies, and her minimum sentence seems to be a couple years of probation, and that is if she's convicted 100% though. It seems like she was moved to Superior Court, so that's actually even worse for her. So that's what we have right now. She's currently facing 8 years in prison. That's the worst case. She's not going to get that, but her minimum is at least a couple years on probation. Either way, she shouldn't have done this. This is like a big self-inflicted thing that didn't need to happen. I don't know why she decided to do that. Those are all the updates for now, and I have to go find out when the next court date is, because if it was just moved till tomorrow, that's very convenient for me, because then I only have to extend by 1 day. But if I have to like keep extending weeks on out, nah, I gotta go home. I can't be here for weeks. I can't be a new resident of Oswego, New York until all of this.
Okay, folks, and thank you, Atozy. Now, obviously, he's getting his information from a lawyer. I don't understand him to be a lawyer. He seems like a likable guy. I don't know if I would read as much into all that's going on as he or the lawyer he's talking to has. I mean, a lot of what he said is absolutely right. They have moved it to Superior Court. Generally speaking, when you're in it's city in Oswego, it's city court. They call it municipal court. The big distinction is ordinarily the level of punishment that can be eked out by the judge. In New Jersey, I think if it's more than a year and, more than a fine of $1,000 or something like that, they will have to move it to Superior Court. And very often, it goes the other way around. Something starts out in Superior Court, and even if, for example, a theft, if it's over a certain amount, it's a third-degree crime, and that goes into Superior Court, but they'll knock it down and call it a fourth-degree crime of disorderly persons because they know this is not worth it to have a whole jury or present it to a grand jury, and we'll let it get handled in municipal court. And that's a better way to deal with this. Prosecutors, as you saw from this instance, have a lot of discretion on whether to prosecute or what to do. As I understand it, the prosecutor in Oswego, or that county, is very busy right now. There's apparently a big murder trial going on, and it could be he just wanted to have a grand jury look this over to determine whether or not the charges should go forward and what charges. Generally speaking, when he says she'll face more serious charges, they could look for higher charges when they go to a grand jury. But from what I saw from the initial charges, they were all indictable offenses, so they could have and probably should have gone to a grand jury anyway. I don't know if it means a lot. A prosecutor also has the discretion. If they look at it, they could say, well, I don't think this was as big an offense. I'm going to lower the charges to this. We'll keep it here in municipal court, and if she can't come up with a plea bargain, then we'll try it here without a jury. They do have some discretion. As far as whether they will indict her, I mean, I've read read all the different takes on it. Well, they could find this and that. There's an old saying that I tend to believe to be the big truth, the undeniable truth about grand juries, and that is, when it comes to getting before a grand jury, a good prosecutor could indict a ham sandwich. And I am not kidding you. It's a one-sided affair. There is only the prosecutor. The defense attorney is not there. The public defender representing DoorDash girl, Ms. Henderson, is not there. It's a game played on a field where it's only your team, and the other team doesn't get out and play on the field. So it's a pretty easy way to win your case, so to speak. It doesn't mean she's guilty. It just means a jury of people, usually I think it's like 15 to 18 people, they review cases and they decide whether they should go forward, whether they should indict, meaning should we charge this person with the crimes that have been presented or not. And they can say send it back and reduce the charges. They can say we don't find any evidence of a crime. Prosecutor still has the opportunity within certain parameters to prosecute, but once if it gets no cause by a grand jury, you're really pushing it if your prosecutor continues to try, unless you find some new evidence, which if you brought it before the grand jury before really getting all the evidence you could, then that's not a good thing for a prosecutor. But it's not, I doubt it's going to be different charges. The charges they originally announced carried years as far as the penalties that she faced. They were felonies. So, it's nothing, no big surprise it went to a grand jury. It's also, let's face facts. I mean, he did say, I don't think she'll get 8 years. I don't think she will. A lot of people, this has caused so much commentary and really enraged some people, mostly against her. It was not just what she did. It was the self-righteous way she did it and the things she was saying. And as Mr. Atazi, or however you say his name, said, it's a self-inflicted wound. She kept running her mouth talking about herself as the victim and further incriminating herself and also further providing evidence that could probably be considered, if nowhere else, at a sentencing hearing. No remorse. Oh my God, I'm a victim. What about me? What about me? And not a single thought about this guy who was, by all accounts, I've read some of the reports about his statements to the police. He said, yeah, I drank, I got drunk, I was intoxicated. The most noble thing in the world, but it's also not illegal. He's in his house. So maybe he left the door open. She opened the door. Now, there's a debate still over that, but from what I understand, there's plenty of evidence that she forced the door open and then started filming him. So that right there, whether you call it unlawful entry or not, she certainly can't say that he intended for her to come in if she forced the door open or pushed the door open. The directions to her, leave it at the doorstep. That's what you do. She instead did this and created this big stir. I could very easily see a judge concluding she did it just so she could get a lot of attention on social media and to make a lot of money. She even mentioned that in one of her kind of crazy videos about how they wouldn't monetize her. So she did it for money. She had a monetary incentive. She screwed herself. But she'll probably get probation. She might get some incarceration if she's convicted. I frankly don't know how she would avoid a conviction, because even if the guy exposed himself and she could get a jury to believe that it wasn't an accident, as I said, I may have said in an earlier video, there's a separate crime she committed by posting without his consent and without legal justification. As everybody who's seen this, and I said it from day one, if you were doing this to document this, well, go ahead, document it, give it to the police. That should be the end of it. You should not be pushing this on social media with millions of views. In any event, we will see how this plays out. I can almost guarantee you they'll indict her. Maybe, maybe not. There have been cases where they don't, but I'm almost positive they'll probably indict her for the charges that I saw originally asserted. And we'll see how a jury trial plays out. My guess is she enters into a plea agreement at the suggestion of her public defender. She gets probation, maybe a little incarceration. And interesting thing, I'm not sure if New York requires it, but when you have instances like this where you're posting videos of nudes of a sexual nature, I don't know if that kicks in Megan's Law, where she has to register as a sex offender for posting nude videos. I found her to be highly annoying, and I found the whole thing to be sort of an outrage. But, as far as becoming a Megan's Law registrant, if that is the case, I wouldn't want to see that, I don't think. But I'm sure people let me know they have very strong opinions otherwise, and can I blame them? No. In any event, folks, I guess we'll follow this. I guess the next update will be when they dispose of the case, because how much more can we discuss this? But it will end someday, and it will end somehow, and we will be there to talk about it. Hope you learned something from this video. I hope you liked it. Hope you hit like and subscribe. Please leave your comments, and we will see you next time. Dave Epstein signing off for the Post Pollock firm. Thanks.